This short video is about the the rehandling of the Shasta DEM to try and remove some of the slight little errors within the DEM or anomalies. And that would be, we're going to process it with a low pass. Now the first thing you do with this, in this part of the assignment, is you add the Shasta DEM and you derive a hillshade. And we've talked about that before. You add it, get the name right. Now I've gone in and changed the properties here a little bit, changed it to single band. I made sure I was doing the minimum and maximum, okay, and loading that to actual, loading, so I get the actual values. I was putting in red, green, yellow and classifying that so I could get some nice colors on it. And I was also putting the hillshade. I was establishing that at a transparency of 50%, so you can get an idea of this tall dormant volcano. Now we've got some areas here where we have some anomalies, and so I'm going to zoom in a little bit and show you these. You can see these anomalies. See the little anomalies that we've got here, and these are the ones that we want to fix, and that we'll be fixing these anomalies. And how we're going to fix that is we're going to process the Shasta layer with a low pass or a mean filter that smooths it out, that takes all the information around it and uses that to smooth out these errors, whether they be drops down or whether they be spikes up. And how we're going to do that is we're doing it in processing. Once again, toolbox, and we use our Sega tools, and we're using our grid filter here, and we're using the simple filter. So we bring our simple filter up, and what we're going to do is fill in the parameters. So our parameters, we want to make sure we pick the Shasta with the little drop down. We make sure it's square. Our filter is smooth. Our search radius is 3. We do the little dots over here to select and put it in the right folder, calling it low pass filter. So then we're going to process this. Now we've got it processed, we probably want to rename it right away to low pass. And we also want to bring its properties out so we can see it. So we want to make sure we're doing the minimum maximum, and we're loading, so we're getting our complete values here. And we're going to apply that. And you can see that our numbers improved here so that they're fairly similar to our Shasta. Here Shasta was 43,000, we're up 42.7, and our lower number here is 62.5, and our number on our new one is 73.4. So you can see we've smoothed it out a little bit, and we could display this in our single in the same fashion as we have before and derive a hillshade. You want to remember, we do minimum, maximum, actual for the accuracy and load it, and then we're going to classify it so we could bring our colors up. And now I'm going to do a hillshade. So now I've got the low pass, I changed the colors, I derived a hillshade using the raster hillshade at 25 and a vertical angle of 25, and I did a couple of things here in properties. I also selected minimum, maximum, actual, and load to make sure I'm getting the top value and the bottom value rather than dropping off some as the defaults seem to do. They start at 2% and go up to 98%. I want everything to show, and you'll notice that this really is a hillshade. It's looking at the shadows so that there's nothing bigger than 360 degrees. Okay, so now I'm going to compare the two, and I've got this hillshade as 50% transparent on top of my low pass. And you can see that in this location it's fairly smooth here, whereas if I turn off that same location and I go back to my hillshade on my Shasta, you can see that those areas are, those are where the errors are. So by putting out my low pass, I actually smoothed that out. I used that area around it. This completes this video.